Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Temito Fagbimi. We begin today's program in the Horn of Africa, where the Somali government says at least 26 people have died of starvation in the southern region of Jubaland. Regional Interior Minister and Drought Committee Chairman Abdirahman Mohamed Hussein says that the deaths occurred in the last 36 hours. He also appealed for emergency aid to curb hunger. This comes after the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, who visited Somalia earlier this month, said that nearly 6 million people are in need of food aid in the country. Meanwhile, the United Nations has opened a Drought Operations Coordination Center in Baidoa, the administrative capital of the southwest state. This is meant to promote effective and timely delivery of humanitarian assistance in the region. The center was launched 3 weeks after a similar facility was established in Mogadishu to help address the ongoing drought. The United Nations has warned that Somalia risks slipping back into famine as worsening drought has left millions of people without food, water or health care in a country crippled by decades of war.
The humanitarian crisis in the southwest state has become the worst in the whole country, particularly in Bayan Bakol and Lower Shebele. As a result, we have opened a new coordination center for the drought response in order to make sure that we reach all those who are in need of assistance. That is priority number one. Priority number two, which is the same as number one, is to work with the officials at the regional, state, and at the district level to make sure that our effectiveness is at its best.
Staying on in Somalia, Prime Minister Hassan Ali Khairi has named a cabinet of 26 ministers at a ceremony in the capital Mogadishu. Among the 26 ministers, there are a record 6 ministerial posts for women. The new cabinet is a mix of new arrivals and ministers who served in previous administrations. Mr. Khairi named 1 deputy premier, 26 ministers and 26 assistant ministers after consultation with the president and the speaker of parliament. The cabinet appointees will have to be approved by parliament. However, the proposed cabinet, which meets the various clan interests, is not expected to face major opposition from members of parliament. In Northeast Africa, about half of South Sudan's population has no access to clean water in a country where an ongoing drought has further complicated the situation. The UN Children's Fund, UNICEF, says hundreds of thousands of severely malnourished children are now at risk of contracting waterborne diseases like diarrhea and cholera as communities draw out water from scarce sources.
Abuk Garang lives in a village on the outskirts of Awil town in northwest South Sudan. Every day, she walks about 4 kilometers to fetch water at this well. The 15-year-old carries 25 liters of water in a container all the way back home. An ongoing drought in the country has left many residents like Abuk without access to clean water, forcing them to draw the little water they can from wells that are already running dry. We only take a meal in the evening as we are unable to cook in the morning because that is the time when we can collect water. South Sudan has been hit by the same East African drought that has pushed Somalia back to the brink of famine, 6 years after 260,000 people starved to death in 2011. Only 41% of children have access to clean water in the country, and the drought has further exacerbated the situation, leaving water points dry. According to the UN Children's Agency, UNICEF, this acute shortage of clean water is posing an additional threat to hundreds of thousands of severely malnourished children in South Sudan.
About 5 million people in the country don't have access to safe water. Why is safe water so important for nutrition? Because if you don't have safe water, you are liable to catch either a waterborne disease or get diarrhea. A simple bout of diarrhea can induce malnutrition in a matter of days, and if that malnutrition is severe, the child will die.
Aid agencies are working to rehabilitate old boreholes and increase water points, as well as sanitation facilities for communities.